Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So let's start with going through the questions from the last video. Someone said, thank you for the detailed explanation today. I'll follow along accordingly. That sounds great. Devin's Calisthenics says, simple to learn, years to master. Yeah, that is so true. The muscle up is very simple, like on paper. The instructions are very simple, but it takes a long time to learn, like the clean muscle up without too much of a swing and without too much of a kick. So that's so true. And here's a comment, and he says, if I can do it on the band, the rest for me to concern is just my lack of strength, isn't it? That's somewhat true, that if you learn the technique with resistance band, you kind of know the technique, but also to keep in mind is that the technique changes from the very thick band to the small band to the thin band, and eventually to the bodyweight muscle up. So the technique changes a little bit, just to keep that in mind. But if you kind of understand the technique with a thicker band, it's true that you need to work on your strength, like your explosive strength, mainly just doing your banded muscle up and also your weighted explosive pull-ups. Alright, that was it. So if you have any questions on your muscle up journey, you can just comment under this video and I will answer it in the next video. And I don't know if you guys know, but I have this page called Buy Me a Coffee, which is a really cool way to support your favorite content creators. So in my case, if you benefited from my muscle up tips, you can always buy me a coffee. And the link to my Buy Me a Coffee page is always under my video in the description. So if you just click here, that will take you to my Buy Me a Coffee page. And then you can just choose if you want to buy me 1, 3, 5, or however many you want to buy. So here I just want to thank Ben for buying me 5 coffees. That is so generous of you, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. And I also want to give a shout out to my client Steve. I've been posting his awesome progress in my last videos, and he's making more progress, so I just want to show that as well. So he started with failing with the green and the purple band, and now on week 3 we're down to the black band. And as you can see, he has great timing in his pull-ups. Let's go forward a little bit. Look at one more rep. So he was failing this rep, the last workout. And he worked a lot on his timing. I think his timing is great. And it doesn't matter that you keep a little bit in the beginning. That's something that we always try to reduce as we get stronger. And then throwing your chest over the bar and rotating the hands and pushing up into the dip. That's great work, Steve, as always. I love to see your results, and the smile says it all. And if you also want to join my muscle up coaching, you can just email me. My email is in the description below. Looking forward to hearing from you, helping you get your first bodyweight muscle up. And what I want to focus on today is the muscle up transition. So the 2 hardest aspects of the muscle up is the explosive pull up, to be able to pull high enough, and also the transition. So I don't want you to complicate the transition too much, so I will just speak a lot about the transition in this video. So here I'm using the purple band. So before getting into the transition part, I also want to emphasize it's really important to warm up with an easier band before your actual muscle up workout. This will make your working sets much easier because you've warmed up your explosive strength, you reminded yourself of the technique, and so on. So please remember to do a few warm-up sets before your actual work set. So here I'm warming up my first set with the purple band, which is easy for me, so it's a good band to start with. So let's talk about the transition. So I'm pulling up, and how do I transition? What do I think about when I transition? So it's very simple. I just pull up and I explosively throw my chest over the bar. That's all I'm thinking about, and I want to be able to do it as explosively as I can. So throwing my chest forward, that's it. You don't have to think about anything else. So just pulling up and throwing your chest forward. So then I'm moving on to my second warm-up set, which is the black band, and the same thing here. Pulling up and throwing your chest forward. Same thing here, pulling up and throwing your chest forward. And as you go to lighter bands, it will feel a little bit different, but the concept is the same. So here's with the red band, same thing, pulling up to about here, and from here just throwing my chest over the bar and pushing up. So these were all my warm-up sets. So this is the last warm-up set, body weight. Same thing here, pulling up and throwing chest forward. And throwing the chest forward. And once you get a hang of this, your muscle ups will become so much easier, and you don't have to struggle so much with the transition. So as you can see here, pulling up to about here, and from here I start the aggressive sit-up in the air, and everything just flows. Same here, throwing the chest over the bar. So try that out. Have that in mind when you're doing your muscle ups, just throwing your chest over the bar. And I also want to show you a muscle up workout that is great for building more reps. Or before I go into that, to build your throwing your chest over the bar power, this is actually a really good way. So you probably have this in your gym, but you can also use like like heavy plates when you're doing your sit-ups and really explosively throwing your chest forward. But I found that doing heavy reps of this exercise actually strengthened that movement of throwing your chest forward and the transition part of the muscle up. So I would recommend like implement this in your weekly routine 1 or 2 times, and it will probably help your muscle up progress. So let's get into the workout that you can use, that you can also tailor to your own strength level. So I'm doing this body weight, but you can do this with any band. And you just start off by doing 1 muscle up. And this is also a good way to like prime your body before every rep, because you're starting with 1 and then you're doing 2 muscle ups, throwing your chest forward, resting for a while, 3 muscle ups, you can see here, you really want to throw your chest over the bar. I'm just going to hammer that technique today. Throw your chest over the bar. So this was the 3rd set. Throw your chest over the bar. Now to my 4th set. So I'm doing 2 muscle ups. And the last set, 1 muscle up. So this is called a muscle up pyramid. You have probably done this with other exercises in your past workouts, and it's a really good way of building more endurance, more reps. And I use this on a lot of my clients and on myself as well, and the results are always amazing. So you can also, go higher in your pyramid or even go lower, but 1 to 3 and then back down again is really good, like a good number to hit. And then I move on to my weighted pull-ups, and I'm currently doing them in the lat pull-down machine. And I have experienced really good gains from this one, almost increasing the weights every week. So I'm just doing 3 reps for 2 sets, 2 days per week, and it has really helped my explosiveness a lot. So I would recommend implementing doing the lat pull-down machine or just regular weighted pull-ups, but try to do them as explosive as you can. I'm saying this every video now, it seems, but it's really important. So use the same grip, like shoulder width apart, and pull with your elbows facing forward, and pull the bar as explosively as you can and as low as you can. So even if it doesn't look like I'm pulling explosively, I'm really trying to do that, and that will increase your explosiveness a lot. So doing this 2 days per week is a great thing for your explosiveness. And thank you so much for joining me in this video, and I will see you next time.